Hey everyone, it's Pauline from ChronicallySpicy, and just so you know, I know that I don't have a huge following or anything. But I'm here to share what I know for those who do see it, for mast cell activation syndrome, latex allergy, coconut allergy, ethylene hydrochloride allergy, latex fruit syndrome, latex allergy, and everything that's related, because I've got a ton of other conditions. But on my YouTube recommended videos, because I'm on YouTube also for those watching on TikTok, and for TikTok or YouTube, I'm also on vice versa. If you're in whatever, if you're watching on one platform, I'm on the other, and it's the same username. But anyway, on my YouTube recommended videos today was one from Dr. Rubin, and we're going to share stream for a little bit on this one so that you can see what I'm talking about for a response to a video that I want to make sure you guys get to see. 1 minute. Nope, don't skip that. Why are you not? No, don't do that. I don't want to do that. Reload. There we go. I just want a continuous cast. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, I'm going to share a part of Dr. Rubin's video. It's linked in the description box below. Rubin Allergy, for not following him, make sure to do so because he's got a wealth of information, and he's basically the TikTok allergist. All right. Ooh, okay. Thank you. I will definitely make sure that we never do that one because we do not want to make the ADHD worse. Looking at the chat on my TikTok. All right. So here we go. Here's the video from Dr. Rubin. And I'll do a shorter version on YouTube later. But the video, just so you know, for context, it's linked in the description box down below already for YouTube. It's about an allergic reaction to mulberry. First, let's watch the video. You can hear it, or you can watch it later. And let's go. And then we'll discuss. Give me 1 second. Volume. Why are you not? Nope. 1 minute.
That's me.
There we go. 1 second. I gotta pause that because I forgot to go to share screen. We're good. It's all good. All right, ready? This is ADHD live streaming at its finest. Okay, let's see. Here we go. All right, ready? And this is the video.
Hi, my name is Dr. Rubin. I'm a board-certified allergist. I am so sorry that he experienced that, but I'm glad that he is doing okay at this time. I've never seen a case of an allergic reaction to mulberry fruit look that severe, and it's been rarely reported in the medical literature. What is much more common is something called oral allergy syndrome. That's where your immune system gets confused and thinks that fresh mulberry fruit is similar to pollen grains because the protein structures can be similar, and we call that cross-reactivity.
Okay, so I don't want to get dinged for copyright, although I'm giving Dr. Rubin credit. The allergy or the allergic reaction, just so you know, if you're listening, or not actually watching the actual live stream, a young man had literally full body hives from mulberries. So I immediately did a little bit of digging because that's what I do, right? All right, so here we go. Let's find the next one to share. 1 second. Screen share. is it? Here we go. Very well. Hold 1 second. I gotta find it. There we go. All right. We are going to share this tab instead. Save. All right. All right. So I'm reading an article from ecarf.com, which is a UK allergy source. Let's see here. Just for giggles, so that you know what eCarf stands for, because I don't know. I've looked at them before, but eCarf is literally, I say, for a better life with allergies information portal. So I don't know what it stands. Oh, about us. Here we go. eCarf is the European Center for Allergy Research Foundation. So that's eCarf. Okay. Make sure you watch the whole thing, because some of the information and some of the accepted medical practices or suggested testing, etc., aren't going to be the same as what's recommended in the US based on my research. So I have also included information that I'll share from the second source as well, just so you know. All right, here, and let me go to the screen that I am sharing. Let's go back to the actual source. Here we go. Latex allergy. Natural latex is the milky fluid of the bada rubber tree, which is collected through cuts in the tree. The term latex is derived from the Portuguese word for milk. Latex is a 20th century phenomenon. It was first described in 1927 and diagnosed for the first time in 1979 with a prick test. During the HIV epidemic in the 80s and 90s, there was a significant increase in glove wearing in medical settings. An increase in the number of people with an occupational latex allergy was also observed during this time. At its highest prevalence, studies indicate that 10 to 17% of healthcare employees suffered from a latex allergy. Measures were taken to stop the spread of the allergy, which was rapidly affecting medical staff, patients, and workers in the latex industry in rising numbers. These measures included improvement in production conditions, powder-free, low-allergen latex gloves. Okay. The use of alternative materials in glove manufacturing. Okay, better. As a result of these changes, the number of allergic individuals was significantly reduced in the first decade of the 21st century. In estimating the prevalence of latex allergy, a distinction must be made between the general population and specific risk groups. For the average population without occupational exposure to latex, prevalence is between 1 and 1.37%. For the figures for healthcare workers are generally higher, depending on the region, 2.7% in Italy, or as high as 11.7% in Sri Lanka. Of healthcare workers, doctors, dentists, nurses, midwives, dental techs, etc., as many as 11.7% of Sri Lanka healthcare workers are allergic to latex. Risk factors for latex allergy include employment in certain industries, for example, medical staff, rubber industry workers, cleaning service workers. My head hurts because swelling. All right. All right. Receiving elderly nursing care, hand eczema, frequent or multiple operations, open back spina bifida, which often requires frequent operations to correct the condition. I have a friend with spina bifida who was born with spina bifida, and she eventually developed latex allergy. Heredity predisposition to allergies in the family. Allergies to certain foods such as avocados, chestnuts, bananas, kiwis, figs, mangoes, and papayas. Yeah, I'm allergic to all of those. Triggers. Natural latex is a widely available material used throughout the world. It is found not only in protective gloves, but also in food, like chewing gum. That's not necessarily a food, but I appreciate that they put that there, because I stopped chewing gum when I was like 8, because every single time I chewed it, I would literally get lockjaw. Like, it felt like my jaw was turning into hardening cement, and I just instinctively stopped chewing it. It's also found in some food packaging, self-sealing envelopes, swim caps, snorkels, diving masks, erasers, toothbrushes, coated raincoats, toys, eyelash curlers, non-slip socks, compression stockings, pacifiers, car tires, balloons, air mattresses, preserve jar sealing rings like mason jar sealing rings, protection, and many medical devices. Over 12 million metric tons are produced every year. So far, 15 allergens and natural latex have been identified. The allergy is usually triggered through skin contact. However, it is also possible to become sensitized to latex via the airways. And stay with me, because I'm going to tie this back to the mulberry reaction that this young man suffered in that Dr. Rubin stitched in the video, and he stated that he's never seen a mulberry fruit reaction that bad. So I did what I always do and jumped on and was like, all right, let's look this up, how I would look it up to see, because I've been that bad. But I don't think I've ever actually seen a mulberry bush before. Anyway, this is highly problematic in the manufacture and use of powdered medical gloves, because allergens from latex bind to the latex-free powder used to separate the gloves in the box. If the powder is released into the air, the latex allergens can be breathed in. Okay, all you have to do literally is open the box. Okay, literally open the box. And there are some people who are so sensitive that opening the box, they can be in the same building, don't even have to be in the same room, and that can set off anaphylaxis. I know people who are that sensitive, and they're basically housebound. In addition to medical gloves, other medical devices such as catheters can also contain latex. It is very important that patients inform the medical staff about their allergy before an operation or treatment. And honestly, double check everything anyway, because it doesn't mean that they're not going to muscle memory grab the non-latex allergy safe option for you. Many people who are allergic to latex develop cross-reactivity to certain foods or plants. In particular, tropical fruits such as avocados, bananas, and kiwis have protein structures similar to that of the rubber plant. If the immune system of a person who is allergic to certain latex proteins is exposed to these fruits, a kiwi, for example, an allergic reaction may be triggered due to the similarity of the proteins. This is referred to as latex fruit syndrome. I've also seen it referred to as latex food syndrome. People who have an allergy to one of these foods also have a higher risk of developing a reaction to latex over time. That's what happened to me, or part of what happened to me. Certain plants can also trigger cross reactors. And here's your mulberry circle tieback. These include mulberry, rubber trees, poinsettia, hemp, and oleander. Mulberry is a latex cross-reactive. Symptoms of an allergic reaction to latex are itchy red skin, rash at the contact site, delayed or immediate, hives at the contact site on the hands, for example, allergic rhinitis, and itchy red eyes, particularly from exposure via the airways, asthma symptoms such as coughing and difficulty breathing, particularly from exposure via the airways, and anaphylactic reactions possibly leading to circulatory collapse. Keep in mind, anaphylaxis is medically defined in the U.S. as 2 systems or more affected at the same time. Sidebar, you need 2 systems or more affected for a mast cell activation syndrome reaction or diagnosis also. Diagnostic procedure, this is where things get a little iffy on what is different medical sources, right? So we'll get to the second one. We'll get to the next one when we get to the next one. The first step in diagnosing a latex allergy is an in-depth consultation during which the doctor asks the patient about his or her symptoms, living conditions, and familial predisposition. And then they continue to mention different tests that can be performed, such as skin testing, blood testing, and provocation testing. I can tell you straight up right now, I do not allow any skin testing on me unless it's necessary for, like, say, an upcoming medical procedure that I'm going to have, and I need to make sure that I am not allergic to something specific that might have to be used. And the reason I do that is because my airway literally slammed shut during upper endoscopy because my ethylene hydrochloride allergy, which is used as a stabilizer in natural latex and is the reason I'm allergic to latex, and potentially coconut derivatives are used in medical lubricants. And the second the scope went down my throat, my airway slammed shut. So that procedure lasted less than 15 minutes, and they had me in and out of off the bed and back in the recovery room within 15 minutes because they did what they had to do to open my airway while I was unconscious. And yeah, there we go. Good times. So yeah, now I'm like phobic about being put under for anything. 1 second. Now we're going to look at the next source because we're going to continue to talk about latex fruit syndrome, which, by the way, does have a connection to oral allergy syndrome to tie it even further back to what Dr. Rubin's talking about in his video. So let's go to here and switch screens. Screen share. All right, Allergy and Asthma Network. There we go. Latex allergy and foods. If you have latex allergy, you can sometimes have reactions to certain fruits and vegetables. These reactions occur in 30 to 50% of people with latex allergy. Latex reactions to certain foods and fruits and vegetables can happen because these foods share similarly structured proteins that the body mistakenly recognizes as latex. This in turn causes allergic reactions in latex-sensitive people. And by the way, just so I can, from my understanding, this is why you can go and get a test for banana allergy, for example. Jamie, thank you for the likes. I appreciate you. It comes back completely negative. You're fine. You're not allergic to this. But you still go into anaphylaxis or have, at the very least, a kind of allergic reaction that somebody's like, take some Benadryl, right? Because when you're being tested for these fruits or these vegetables, I believe, from my understanding, you're being tested for the specific proteins in that food, not for the cross-reactivity to latex. So that's why that happens. Thanks for the likes. Okay, so what is a latex cross-reactive food? Many foods have similar proteins, even if they don't contain actual latex. And some foods contain actual latex. What is that called? Oh, there's a vegetarian meat substitute that, like, the jackfruit, I think it's called, that has like actual rubber, like latex, milky substance latex in it. Guess what causes latex allergy? Repeat exposure. Guess what makes it worse? Repeat exposure. Yeah. So these are latex cross-reactive foods. Prevention is the key with cross-reactive foods. Once the food is identified as a latex cross-reactive food, the individual with latex allergy should avoid exposure to that food because that's literally the only management that we have. There's currently no There's currently no way to prevent the forest fire with latex allergy. You have to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher, i.e. EpiPen and antihistamines, and to put out the forest fire after it starts, the allergic reaction after it starts. That or as soon as you start to feel off, or if you know it's coming, if it's something you've reacted to multiple times. Yeah. But yeah, there's no way to stop latex allergy. You can't prevent it. You have to play catch. It's a horrible game of tag. What is latex root syndrome? The association, latex root syndrome. Many vegetables have also been identified as being cross-reactive with latex proteins. All right, we're gonna go check. This list is not a happy one for a lot of people. And I'm going to tell you right now that I should have been given this list 17 years ago when I was diagnosed with my allergy to both, not kidding, on the same day, coconut propyl, which is a coconut derivative used in used in beauty supplies. I think it was in a lotion I was using. And I was also diagnosed on the same day with an allergy to ethylene dihydrochloride. I'll have to add those links for those in the description box below. But I was handed a very thick sheet of paperwork that included all the things I needed to avoid for allergens for ethylene dihydrochloride, and guess what? Latex was on that list. And so were things like acrylics and a bunch of other things. I can follow up on that one. Right now, we're going to read the latex root syndrome list, which I found by myself like 4 years ago. Ow. And if I'd known about it 17 years ago, I could have at least slowed the progression of my allergy instead of basically jumping into a literal latex soup of a swimming pool. And, by the way, that's an actual thing, because if you have latex allergy, you might not want to get into a public pool, because diving masks, swim caps, spandex, bathing suits, those all can contain latex, depending on the bathing, or usually do. If it's elastic, it contains latex. So if you're in a pool and you're just allergic to latex, it's basically latex soup. And if you are allergic to ethylene dihydrochloride, then you've got that too, which is in one of the ingredients in like pool cleaner and sanitizer and stuff. So the foods that to avoid with the latex allergy. The foods shown below are grouped based on high, moderate, or low undetermined association to latex cross reactions, but still have enough recorded, instances of cross reactivity that they know there's some, they just don't know how many. So remember that each person reacts differently to allergens, and I was told not to eliminate a food from my diet until or unless I react to it, because otherwise I'd literally have nothing left, because I'm allergic to most of this. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom here. Low or undetermined cross reactivity with latex fruits and vegetables include apricot, buckwheat, cassava or manioc, castor bean, castor oil. Hello, Bobby. Castor oil is used in almost every single black hair care product that I've looked at. I can only use olive oil mixed into a spray bottle with water. I shake it up, and that's what I can use in my hair, because I react to everything else. I'm allergic to everything else. The entire hair care aisle, every conditioner, every shampoo, every holding curl pattern, all of it. I'm allergic to all of it. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna like the number when I finish working on my entire itemized allergy list. Anyway, apricot, buckwheat, cassava, castor oil, cherries, chickpeas. Thankfully, I haven't reacted to chickpeas yet. I can still have hummus. Thank you. Citrus fruits. That one's I can still have citrus fruit. I can still tolerate like oranges and tangerines. And actually, I think that's all I can still tolerate. But I don't do anything else. Coconut. I'm independently allergic to coconut because I got yelled at by a doctor from Boston University Medical, who called me on his day off after my appointment with him to go. Wait a minute, did you say that you use coconut oil for cooking and in your hair and on your skin? And I was like, yeah, because they told me when I was diagnosed that I only need to avoid that specific product or ingredient. And he was like, no, you're allergic to all of it. And I was like, oh, right. Yep, Bobby, I gotcha. Like we all have different. That's why we need to know and pay attention to, and it's probably a good idea to keep track, keep a food diary. There are or just on your smartphone. You don't have to go fancy and get an app or a subscription. Just keep open up your notes app and keep track of what you eat, when you eat it, when you react. That way, if you start to notice a pattern, you can take that information to your doctor. Because always take it to your doctor. But we're also going to get into whether or not, like ECARF, the European allergy source, which kind of laid out in the rest of the article. You can read that in the description box on YouTube. Goes on to explain that proper allergy diagnosis comes with patient-doctor conversation, patient history, and testing, which can also include blood testing. But most often, challenges from doctors that are ordered are going to be skin and or food and or you eating the food, being exposed to the food or the item. All right. Also included in the low or undetermined is cucumber. Bobby, I gotcha. Coconut, cucumber, dill. I really like dill. I can still have dill. Cucumber I haven't had for a while, so because I've been trying to limit. I just have a theory that the foods that we eat the most often, or it's the foods and fruits and vegetables that we eat the most often that are the ones that we end up reacting to. Hey, Lala. And losing because I'm Mexican American. Also, I lived. I eat keto like 99% of the time, and I was living on avocados. I've been living on an avocado a day for like my entire life. Right? I lost that fast and hard. Every few years, I lose another food. Bananas, lost that fast and hard like 7 years ago. So there you go. All right, so dill, eggplant, or aubergine. Fig, I know I've reacted to figs. Goji berry or wolfberry. I haven't had that, so I don't know. Grape, which means wine is out. If it's made from grapes, wine is out. So pay attention to if you're having wine. Make sure that it's a kind that is safe for you. Hazelnut is also a latex allergy cross with low or undetermined amounts of latex or cross-reactive proteins, not actual latex. Indian jujube, jackfruit, Let's see. One second. The Rhino wants up. Lychee, Lychee, mango, nectarine, oregano, passion fruit, peach, and peanut. All right. No sulfites for me or sulfite. Yep. That's another one too that can I think that one can be a trigger for people with like mast cell activation syndrome. For me, I can do broccoli and cauliflower still, I think, but I do them sparingly. Thank you, Evie. They said you're cute. Would you like? You're gonna be cute for them too? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're gonna look all innocent. Okay, that's okay. Um, I'd use those eyes too if I had them, buddy. All right, pear. Thank you. Peppers, cayenne, sweet, or bell. I can still handle peppers. Thank goodness, but I know Jamie, right? But I don't know. I'm paying attention because although I lost avocado and banana and coconut, um, I still like my tajin. I lost my Mexican shrimp cocktails. I don't want to lose that. Persimmon, pineapple, pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. Pay attention because Halloween is right around the corner, and if you have um, latex allergy, right? And or you're wondering if you happen to, you know, break out in a rash on your skin, um, or have more severe reactions when either carving a pumpkin for the kids or with the kids, and Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. Um, that one's an issue too. Bobby, yep. I was about to get to that one. Rye also, okay. So like in breads, right? Sage, which is I have to watch for that one because that's one of my favorite seasonings when I do like homemade sausage or whatever. Um, we absolutely love sage. So I limit that too because it's kind of like limiting my. I never ever ever want to lose. I can still have shellfish, but if I ever lose that, I'm really gonna cry. But that's because for me, it's a special occasion food only. So again, my theory is if you the more exposure you have to the specific proteins, the more likely it is that you're going to lose that sooner. If you do happen to have the kind of latex allergy or latex root syndrome that shows to be progressive, which occurs in like 30 to 50% of cases, I believe. Sunflower seed, so that includes sunflower oil. Always read all the ingredients on your foods. Woo! What happened? I did a squeaky. You're not a squeaky toy. Okay. I'm sorry if I hurt you. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Tobacco, turnip, walnut, wheat, and zucchini. All right. So literally wheat/gluten. I have a friend who was diagnosed with latex allergy back in college after one exposure, one reaction caused by protection, and she was told when she got diagnosed that she needed to avoid wheat or gluten as much as possible. Bobby, yep, yeah, exactly. Like I just know that it's a latex allergy cross and has the potential to eventually be lost if you do have the progressive kind of latex allergy because and can also alone can progress latex allergy in general because exposure to anything that contains latex proteins or similar proteins to latex can cause or trigger current allergy, cause allergy, or increase severity of allergy. I also am independently allergic to gluten and wheat. Like all of my allergies tie back to latex. So seriously, if I'd been told 17 years ago that I needed to basically go on a gluten-free diet and pay attention to the latex root syndrome list, I probably wouldn't be carrying around multiple EpiPens every single day, and I probably wouldn't need to use them as often as I do. Look, I took every single medication I have, and I'm still swollen. It's not as bad as it was. The divot on my forehead is almost gone. All right, let's see. Oops, 1 minute. All right. Moderate cross-reactivity with latex. So this is a higher risk group of foods for shared proteins with latex. Apple, carrot, celery, melons, papaya, potato. They're talking about white potatoes and tomato. And high cross-reactivity with latex, because this is not an all-inclusive list. There are other things, right? There are other things. That's how and why I always search multiple sites. NCBI, JAMA, Latex, the Allergy and Asthma Network, eCarf, FAIR. I check everything because sometimes that's how you learn what you need to learn. There are 4 things listed on the high cross-reactivity with latex list for the Allergy and Asthma Network, and those include avocado, banana, chestnut, and kiwi. I haven't had a kiwi. I think I've had like 3 kiwi in my entire life. So I probably can still eat that, but I don't think I probably would actually try, just because of the fact that it's in the high cross-reactivity. And I have to make sure that because I have mast cell, and if I only had latex allergy, it wouldn't be as bad, right? If I only had coconut allergy, it wouldn't be as bad. But you know what I mean? The issue being I also have mast cell activation syndrome on the side to deal with. So I have to make sure that I'm saving my EpiPens for like the apocalypse, which is a horrible position to be in, and why I'm looking at seeing if I can get in with a different doctor. Some foods listed may not produce reactions in latex-sensitive individuals. However, knowing that some of these foods share major or minor allergens to latex can help patients and their families minimize exposure to possible sources of those allergens. This knowledge can also help patients better understand the risks associated with including these foods in their diets. See what I'm saying? All right, so if you are actually watching on YouTube, you will now see the visual food chart that the Allergy and Asthma Network has for latex cross-reactive foods, natural or latex cross-reactive foods. And I've never seen an actual chestnut in my life. I've just, sung about them at Christmas. Dry mouth. Because I'm rushing my mast cell medication right now. It's a bunch of fun. Okay. So it's got everything I just read through. And images for the foods for high latex protein cross, moderate latex protein cross, and then the lower or determined latex proteins list is just listed by in word form. And actually, here we go. 1 second. Actually, there's a few things that are different on this. They didn't include up top. Apricot, buckwheat, castor beans, cayenne pepper, cherry, chickpeas, citrus fruits, coconut, dill, fig, grapes, hazelnut, lychee, mango, nectarine, oregano, peach, peanut. So legumes. Legumes are a potential latex cross. Remember that one. Peanut, pear, persimmon, pineapple, plums, rye, sage, shellfish, soybean, strawberry, sunflower seed, sweet pepper, walnuts. I'm independently allergic to walnuts also. Wheat. I'm independently allergic to wheat. and zucchini. And the reason I say independently allergic is because those actually showed up on skin prick testing before I knew that skin prick testing wasn't considered safe for latex allergy patients. But it depends. Basically, I'm here because I believe everybody has the right to informed consent, right? And that means you can't give consent, or if you give consent without being informed, then that's just as bad as that medicine's failed us in that sense, because if they don't know to tell us and we don't know to look, then we can potentially expose ourselves to situations where we would otherwise not. Like, I know I'm severe enough that I don't need to be doing any of this. Holy cow, 5,000 likes on TikTok. Or five? Thank you very much. 3. I can't see anything right now. My eyes are a little blurry because that happens when my hormones are going crazy, which kicks off mast cell flares. And I also have Behçet's disease. So yeah, I'll trade bingo card sucks. Okay. Now we're gonna go to. I want to show the next one, because let's get to 1 minute. So the here we go. Next one. Thanks for whoever. I see 2 people in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. Let's see. If you have questions, make sure you drop them in the chat, and I will look up anything you want. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just a professional, not currently freelancing writer that has written for everyone from Men's Health to Yahoo to the Detroit News, and a variety of other publications. And research is basically like my entire life, because I'm so allergic to things that I literally will research the ingredients in the ingredients, because that's how I survive. All right, so let's look at why skin testing is dangerous for latex patients. All right, so Very Well Health, right here at the very top. Because of the risk of sensitizing a patient by exposing them to latex, latex is not usually recommended for use in skin testing. Okay, so if your doctor is recommending latex skin testing, or insisting on provocation challenge, definitely see if you can print this out, and information from the NCBI, Latex, the Allergy and Asthma Network, and take it to your doctor and discuss with them the risk versus benefit so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not to go forward. I had an allergist tell me that if I reacted to a food 2 times to consider myself allergic, and if I reacted to a medication 1 time to consider myself allergic. I followed that advice ever since. I keep track of what messes me up, and I don't go back to the doctors who say that they're not going to accept me as a patient unless I do the skin challenge or a food challenge, because no, like, I've already accidentally challenged that at home, so I'm not going to do that again. Let's see. Bobby says, why would I be allergic to turkey and not chicken? They are so similar. Do you have mast cell activation syndrome, Bobby? Asking because turkey is very high in histamines. Chicken is not. At least unless it's slow cooked. Okay, then I'll look that up in a minute. All right, so Very Well Health, I'll have to add this one to the description box too. Then the reason I use Very Well Health as a source, because I want everyone to know that I am making sure that I am only using the same kinds of sources that I would use if I was writing a story for a major publication again, I only use the reputable stuff. I'm not sharing, you know, just Wikipedia pages. But what to know about latex allergy? Every single story on Very Well Health is reviewed by an MD. So that's a bit, about, I think it's very important for people to know where they can get their information. And their doctor's not going to care what I have to say, but this might be something that they legitimately don't know about. So yeah, here we go. Keep on. Latex or natural latex is a common ingredient in many products people use on a daily basis. Over 40,000 products contain latex. Household products contain latex. Okay, including gloves, pacifiers, balloons, athletic shoes, any shoe, sandals. I'm limited to 4 brands of shoes, and not even every single style of shoe within those brands is safe for me. So I can only wear specific styles. It's nearly impossible to avoid. Latex is 12 million tons are produced every year, and over 40,000 consumer products contain latex. I can't go outside when fresh concrete is like blacktop is being poured, because if it smells like rubber, I'm I'm gonna get taken out. Can't go into a Costco or a Sam's Club because the tire center is right there. Can't go into a I don't know, an anaphylactic reaction at a Build-A-Bear because it's just latex glitter floating everywhere. And I also can't go into shoe stores or furniture stores, and I can't go into home improvement stores, and I can't leave the house basically from Thanksgiving to the New Year. Hi, my little
I'm
goblin.
braiding my hair. Don't ask questions.
I love my child. She's unbraiding her hair and will wash and brush and deep condition after she gets all the braids out, and then we'll look for somebody else to do her hair again because she loves having her tree braids, or box braids. Sorry. Anyway. For people sensitive to latex, your immune system has a hypersensitive allergic response to the proteins naturally occurring in the sap. Here we go. I forgot to stop. I forgot to shoot a stat. There we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sometimes I can't tell if I have a dog hair on my tongue because Pomeranian, or if my tongue is going dry and feeling weird because of allergic reaction or whatever. Note, if even though you might not pop positive for whatever sets you off if you have MCAS, it's just as real a reaction and needs to be treated just as a regular anaphylactic reaction that you have like quantifiable testing for, that's been confirmed, like my individual allergies to wheat, coconut, etc., because your body's reacting. It's not a suit. It's not like imaginary. It's not in your head. It's actually happening, and every patient with MCAS needs to talk to their doctor about an epinephrine prescription because we can react to anything and everything at any given time. Bobby says, I hate the smell of fresh tar when a new road is paved. Yeah, Bobby, so do I, because I stayed inside my house for 2 weeks after having a very, very, very bad delayed reaction to the fresh blacktop on the city sidewalks a few years ago. I didn't know better, and I also come from a culture that really does not like going to doctors. Mexicans, let's walk it off. But did you? That's that's how I was raised. So I have to sometimes third person try to logic myself and like see how, wait a second, what would I tell somebody if they were in my house having a reaction like this, and like literally step outside of myself in order to like see that logic. because if it was just me, I'd end up having the same thinking pattern that I did with this reaction. Like I woke up hours and hours later, and I had vertigo, and I had to I couldn't even crawl because the worm was spinning. I should have gone to the emergency room, but I couldn't even like talk to like wake anybody up. I could breathe. I just was so tachycardia type, like impending doom, that like my voice was just like stuck in my throat and I couldn't say anything. I got back into bed. I took my mast cell stabilizing medications because I didn't have epi at the time, and put my CPAP back on. That's probably the only reason I'm still here. Because if my the CPAP, I have central nervous sleep apnea related to my EDS, not obstructive. So there you go. But this one is important, the one I'm currently sharing. Just so you know, worldwide, the prevalence of latex allergies 9.7% among healthcare workers and 4.3% among the general population. And I want to point out one thing. Mexicans, Latin America, Caribbean countries, places where fruits and foods like avocado, banana, papaya, mango, etc., right, are like the norm. How is it that we have gone centuries with these foods and people like are totally fine with them, right? And latex allergy wasn't a thing that was taking people out, or not so many people were being diagnosed with the allergy, and then all of a sudden we are being diagnosed with the allergy. Personally, I think it's the allergy. I think it's the original allergy I was diagnosed with, which is ethylene dichloride. I think that was. I'll talk about that one in another live stream, specifically dedicated to that man-made ingredient that is used in so many things that I am allergic to medical care. Let's see, Tammy, how are you? I hate this. And yeah, but Bobby, I think that I think humans forget that we are animals and we have instincts. And if you think about it, I think a lot of us tend to avoid the foods and or items instinctively, that environmental or otherwise, that are triggers for our latex allergy, because we know, like before a thunderstorm or a tornado or a hurricane, whatever, the insects get quiet, the birds like fly and like F off, and they're like, nope, I'm out. Peace. And it just like, there's that eerie quiet that's usually not there, like no matter where you live. And I think that's what we're doing, because the animals know something's coming. We need to get to a safe place. And I think that we do the same with our foods and other things that set off our latex allergy, the things that are specific to us. I mean, every food that I've hated peas my entire life. Guess what? They're in the legume family. I'm allergic to, right? Yeah. Every single thing that I hated eating as a kid, I either am allergic to or have mast cell activation reactions to because they're high in histamines. All right, let's look at a minute. Was that everything? So we're going to go back. We're going to play this one again so you can just watch or hear this one more time, because Dr. Rubin talks about oral allergy syndrome, OAS. And I can tie, 1 minute, There we go. And I can tie that one back to latex allergy too. All right. So 1 second. Because I want you to see something. Or allergy syndrome. All right. We're going to look at the foods. And I want to see who's paying attention. I want you to comment when you tell me what the sounds, what if you hear, if you hear any similarities, any warning bells going off, right? OAS, oral allergy syndrome. If you suffer from hay fever, allergenic rhinitis caused by pollen, your mouth or throat may become itchy after eating. This is from the Allergy and Asthma and Immunology Association. Okay, so share this tab instead. All right. Oral allergy syndrome. If you suffer from that, after eating an apple or celery, this happens in up to 50 to 75% of adults allergic to birch tree pollen. So a pollen allergy can be connected to things, right? Because apple and celery are on the what now? Latex allergy fruit syndrome list. I'd rather have pain than a severe allergic reaction to pain, which I understand, Bobby, 100%. I have both, and I'll take. At least you can treat the chronic pain. The allergic reactions. You take the reaction, the medication. You take the epi and you pray.
We're out of jalapeno chips.
We're out of jalapeno chips.
This is the bit I just put into the bowl is the last bit of jalapeno chips. I'm sad now.
All right, I'll message your dad and ask him to stop and pick some up on his way home from work tomorrow.
Yay. Maybe please give me them on chips, those two, please.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so 50 to 75% of people with birch tree pollen can suffer from OAS, oral allergy syndrome. These proteins can confuse the immune system and cause an allergic reaction to make existing symptoms worse, which is referred to as cross-reactivity. In the case of pollen and foods, the result of cross-reactivity is called oral allergy syndrome, also known as pollen food allergy syndrome, PFAS. And this is important because let's find the list. We're going to look. Oral allergy syndrome, pollens, and cross-reactant foods. You should talk to your physician if your OAS symptoms are causing significant throat discomfort. That would be an automatic emergency room trip for me, throat discomfort. Your OAS symptoms are getting progressively worse because in I think about 30% of OAS cases, it can progress to latex allergy or latex allergy fruit syndrome or both. You can, and that's the thing. You can start off as just being allergic to bananas, just being allergic to coconut, just being allergic to wheat, just being allergic to apples. And if you have OAS, maybe you can have cooked apple pie, but you can't have a raw apple, a regular just off the tree apple, and so apple orchards trips aren't fun for you anymore. That can eventually progress for some people with OAS to latex allergy or latex allergy fruit syndrome. Your OAS symptoms are caused by cooked fruits and vegetables. Your symptoms are caused by nuts. Latex allergy cross. You develop systemic reactions after eating raw fruits or vegetables, such as hives, vomiting, or difficulty breathing. By the way, 2 or more systemic reactions, 2 or more body systems affected. Skin, digestive, brain, all, right? Rashes and runny noses, impending doom, and welts, swelling, and brain fog, confusion, and coughing. That's 2 or more symptoms. That's anaphylaxis. So super, super important that people are aware of that. Now, here's the rest of the list of foods that can cause oral allergy food symptom reactions. Ready? Okay. Pitted fruit, apple, apricot, cherry, peach, pear, plum, melons, cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon. Those are also on the latex allergy cross list. Banana, kiwi, orange, tomato. Oh. Vegetables include bell pepper, broccoli, cabbage, carrot, cauliflower, celery, chard, like Swiss chard, cucumber, garlic, onion, parsley, white potato, which is the specific potato that can cause latex allergy reactions from the similar proteins. Zucchini. Spices include anise seed. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I only know how to say certain spices in Spanish. Caraway, coriander, which I believe is the seed for cilantro. I have to double check. Fennel, black pepper, legumes, peanut and soybean, almond and hazelnuts. And mesquite, if you live on the southern border, if you live in Arizona or Texas, and anywhere where mesquite trees are located, or you live in northern Mexico, or my father was from Monterrey. I've lost my Mexican card because we had to leave the state of Arizona and move to like where there's snow, because my allergist was like, you are so allergic to mesquite that it's not possible to be more allergic to mesquite. You can't leave your house. You can't have your windows open, because every time there's a wildfire, mesquite's burning and it's in the air, and you need to move. You need to move. Her allergy is the same for the copy paste. All right. There's a note here that mouth or throat itching from peanut, soybean, almonds, or hazelnut may also be an initial manifestation of a more serious food allergy with the potential for anaphylaxis. So see an immunologist if such symptoms are noted. If you have 2 or more systems affected, and you start off with OAS, which Dr. Rubin mentions in his video, and you don't have epi, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm saying get thee to an emergency room or an urgent care as soon as you can. Call the wee woo van if necessary. It might be a pricey trip, but it could save your life. Because taking extra Benadryl, taking multi-dose of Benadryl, it can help, but it's not going to help as fast, and you don't know when or if. And this is the major problem with latex allergy. You can go from 0 to 60 in one reaction, or 2 reactions. Your first reaction might be a rash. Your second reaction might be anaphylactic shock. And it might not even be the same trigger. It's just something else that contains latex cross-reactive proteins or actual latex. The first day could be because you walk into, since the stores have Halloween and Christmas crap out at the same time, you could walk into Target and it's Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas season, and there's poinsettia plants out, and suddenly you react to the poinsettias, and it's not because you touched it, it's just in the air. Then you have a reaction because I don't know, the next reaction, it's your birthday, or your partner brings home flowers for you, or and the flowers come from a florist that also sells and displays latex balloons. That means that there's going to be latex glitter on those flowers. So there's an issue. You don't know. And you don't know if the next reaction is going to be worse than the last, which means that's why we always need to have my tongue. This is why we always have to have proper emergency rescue. Give me a sec. Let's see. My apologies. This is the first thing I do when my tongue starts to go dry, because mast cell activation syndrome. And checking to see if I need to sometimes just chewing, and ice is the easiest thing because it's not going to set off a reaction for me, is enough to get my salivary glands working again. Because, by the way, dry tongue, salivary gland shutdown is also a potential allergy and or anaphylaxis symptom. I didn't know that. All right, we're going to share this one because I want you to see. This is from the NIH, the National Library of Medicine, and great. Yeah, I can feel when that's happening. Okay. I don't do vaccines because many of my screwy immune system. I don't do them because many are capped with rubber stoppers, or are formulated with other things that I'm allergic to. So I completely understand that, Bobby. So anyway, update on latex allergy, new insights into an old problem. Let's look at this one. So natural latex continues to be a global health problem and is considered one of the main worries in the working environment in many countries throughout the world. Due to thousands of products containing latex, it is not surprising that the current statistics, I can never say that word, suggest that prevalence remains high among healthcare workers and susceptible patients. Healthcare workers, restaurant workers, people with asthma, people in the dental industry, people in the hospitality industry, people who are continuous glucose monitors or have adhesives like on their bodies like a lot due to different issues. Formaldehyde is in some meds. Yeah, and I'm allergic to that too because ethylene tetrachloride is in that. So I'm going to be, is it possible to be allergic to yourself after you leave this mortal plane? Because I know it's a dark humor, so I survive. But yeah, I'm allergic to that too, because ethylene in that too. So in developed countries, reduction in the prevalence of IgE-mediated allergy to latex proteins from gloves may lead to latex attention by healthcare personnel. On the other hand, the situation is different in developing countries where there is a lack of epidemiological data associated with a deficit in education and awareness of this issue. So it all ties back to just how much you and your doctor know, because it's possible for you to educate your doctor. It's possible for your doctor to educate you. But if like your doctor doesn't know and you have no idea to look, most of us don't automatically start questioning our doctors. Unless we end up with reactions or have symptoms that aren't being treated or won't go away, even if we're following our doctor's advice. And we keep on looking for answers. And that's how, people like me who like the research rabbit hole. So, yeah, I was actually thinking of starting a sub channel. Just calling it the research rabbit hole, where I can you just join me and you can join. I can invite up to 2 people, I think, on a live stream, and you need help researching something, and I will help you research that. Let me know what you think in the comments, because my autistic brain is like, research? You want to know the why behind your question? Sure, let's. Yes. Why do you think I went into journalism? Because I got to ask everybody why a million different times in a million different ways, and satisfy my need for order in my brain, to make sense of the world around me. And nobody figured out I was autistic until, what, 2 years ago? Anyway, so yeah, latex allergy is very, very connected to all of this. So one more time, we've got, so you see it in order, okay? We have got, that was an hour, and I'm going to read you, just for people on TikTok and for shorts on YouTube, I am going to do an extremely condensed version of this for TikTok, 10 minutes or less, because obviously I can't get a full live stream over there, but not, and the ones that we do only stay visible, I think, for like 30 to, I forget how many days it is. But so we've got, let's go here. We have this video from Dr. Rubin on this young man's full body welts and hives. Like it's covering his entire torso, and he is a mad mess. I looked like this for an entire year. The first year after my daughter was born, and that's because I was being prescribed every medication I was being prescribed to treat the rashes. The multiple hospital stays. I had a complicated pregnancy. Everything that they used on me was latex or other allergen containing, to things that we later found out. My first year, as a mom, I almost lost all my hair. I was a complete and total mess. And I had full body hives. But because I didn't have the words to state to a doctor, I eat this and I have an allergic reaction. I'm just going. I get these bumps and they hurt. Or there's pressure in these spots. They're the angry spots on my skin. Like I was so autistically describing these things because I was.
Okay, now that all the doctors and nurses are here, what's up?
1 second,
Yeah,
watch this.
That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Yep, mulberry fruit. Okay, so we go to from mulberry fruit, which Dr. Rubin ties to oral allergy syndrome, which may be all it is. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm not saying that this young man has latex allergy or latex fruit syndrome. I'm just letting you know that the possibility exists for that to develop. 1 second. I think my eye's starting to swell. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm like super sensitive to, I can tell when like a specific spot is starting to get messed up. And by the way, when my allergies are triggered, my EDS, my collagen stops working. I can't even get my glasses behind. There we go. It just floppy. So that's why I always have a headband on under my hat, so that my hair doesn't fall, so that my ears actually hold my glasses up on when I need to wear them. So anyway, Dr. Rubin has never seen anybody with a mulberry allergy reaction like this, right? Okay. I'm not doubting that, because a lot of what I'm talking about isn't common anyway, right? But for those of us who do have this situation going on, because I'm already allergic to all of these things. What was the first thing I did? I wonder if that's connected to latex allergy. And that's exactly what I looked at. And I find that, where are you? I know I saw you. Triggers. Right here. People who already have an allergy to one of these foods have a higher risk of developing a reaction to latex over time. Certain plants can also trigger cross reactions, including mulberry, rubber trees, poinsettia, hemp, and oleander. And that's every part of the hemp plant, just so you know. Okay. So there's that, right? Now, oral allergy syndrome, let's go to that. Where did I go? Did I lose that? Where's that link? Screen share. Oh, everything hurts. Like, I'm over here wondering why my arms, I feel like I just had like arm day at the gym, which I can't go to because of latex allergy. So that's just an example or an analogy. But it literally feels like I tried lifting too much. And I'm over here why does this hurt? And I'm like, oh, right. My child reminds me that she's like, you have fibromyalgia. Okay. I forget, right? All right. So then that takes us to, so tying it back, because this is from udemy.com, Ultimate Beginner Guide to Understanding and Managing and Thriving with Oral Allergy Syndrome. Apparently this is a course you can buy. I'll have to leave that up so I can take a look and teach on Udemy. Okay. Guess who's looking that up? Kristen, how are you? I had I don't know if it was an MCAS reaction or a coconut allergy cross reaction. Because I have to call tomorrow and find out if the source of the medication that came before major reaction, not major swelling, yes, a major reaction. I'm downplaying it because it's so normal to me. It doesn't even faze me anymore, which is horrible. But yeah, my eye's swollen. Anyway, see, Mexican, walk it off. Can you still walk? Let's see, because I would like for you to be able to see. But anyway, bottom line, oral allergy syndrome, about 30% of the oral allergy fruit or food syndrome population can progress to latex allergy or latex fruit syndrome. You can have one without the other, and either can lead to the opposite side of the road. So there's that. I don't feel like putting this back on. Let's see. So does anybody have any questions or anything before I head out? Because I am going to do my collagen has turned to like jelly. When my lips start to feel like rubber, like gummy, I can probably push my nose all the way back up. I have to stop doing that so I don't damage the cartilage. But like I can literally push my nose all the way back, like back here right now, with zero resistance, and my lips, like all the way down, with zero resistance because my collagen's like, yeah, we're taking the evening off, because when my mast cells are triggered, which happens with any allergic reaction, everything happens. It triggers my Behçet's disease. It triggers my EDS. So my collagen goes on vacation without me. And this is how I know I've had to. I get stuttery. I get anxious. I sound like a highly caffeinated squirrel. My ADHD is magnified. I can't sleep. And I have like aftershock reactions. So that's always super fun. But yeah, when we're tying this back, and I don't know if it's because I'm having allergic reaction, or if it's because I'm having a mast cell reaction, or if I'm having an allergic reaction triggered by mast cell, or a mast cell reaction that is triggered because I had an allergic reaction to something that I'm physically allergic to. I don't know. All right. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. I will make sure that I include, I will update the description box as soon as I can. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you have any, if you're curious about any procedures, research that you're looking for, if your doctor has told you something that you're not quite sure about, or anything, basically, if you want me to research a rabbit hole for you, let me know, because that's what I do for most of my my buds, my people on TikTok, and I'd be happy to. It makes me happy. Research makes me happy. Okay, like other people like to play Sudoku or Candy Crush. Do people still play Candy Crush? I don't know. I like to research, and that's what I did. So I'm gonna head out, and you can check back later. I will have an updated, short, abbreviated version of this entire thing that I will do for TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So I'm gonna have to get it in. I'm gonna have to do one version that's 60 seconds or less for a YouTube Short. That's gonna be challenging. Okay. So anyway, stay safe, stay aware, and know that you are not alone. All right. I hope you have a good night.